Welcome, friends. My name is Emmy. I'm a CZT, and you are on Zen with Emmy, which is the YouTube channel that we enjoy together. I want to thank you for being here, and I do believe these mottos that together we are stronger. This has been a very fun challenge, and it's hard to believe we're on day 20 together already. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. So let's get started. I have something fun to show you. First off, here's our creativity book, but right on top of that, I'm going to put something that I made for Halloween recently, and I just thought maybe you would enjoy it. So I couldn't help but show you. Pretty easy to make and a lot of fun. So that's my contribution to the fall and to the fun that's coming. And that's my own design. So we've got our usual supplies, and today we're going to start with Gilgo. Gilgo is by Danielle DePalma-Mobanta, and we use just nothing special. There are so few supplies. Isn't it wonderful how few there are in Zentangle in order to create something quite beautiful? I had a lot of fun with this pattern, but you've heard me say that before. So I'm going to start with my pen. And I'm going to draw a bit of a big C, kind of a big curve there. And within the curve, I'm going to put a series of orbs, all sizes, and I do believe that I'd like to darken in between them. Some of my orbs are quite small, some are quite large, and no problem. Just do what your pen feels like. Let it flow. Okay, I think I have room for a couple of teeny weeny ones there. The next thing I want to do with this is I want to put a series of hearts, and I want them big enough so that I can put another heart within it. So we've been making hearts since we were 10, haven't we? Or less, a lot less actually, probably. And then we'll put another one in between here. Let's do this over. We'll squish them in, okay? Put another one about the same size. And I like to go back and forth as much as I can. I think I'd like to round the bottom of that one off, and maybe on both sides. Let's do another. As you and I have learned, when we keep our work in front of us, we're much happier, aren't we? Squeeze it in. And I think I might have room for another one in this spot here. Something like that. Remember, this is our practice book and we are practicing. So the next thing Danielle does is she puts and this is up to you how you want to do this. I've done it both ways, so maybe you should try it too. I'm going to make a long curve out, and I'm going to make a curve back. Do it again, right off about 2/3 of the way up, curve off, and another. Don't know if you can hear that in the background. My husband has to do some blowing leaves today at our house. And I knew he wouldn't mind, so I told him just go ahead. They'll be all right with this. So I'm making a whole series of these. And I believe I even have room for one here. That's going to kind of travel down in that way. I quite like this pattern. It's very fun. The next thing I'm going to do is she does this little treatment, and this is the way that I am doing it. You go like on that curve thing. I'm going to go out, in, and back in again. Kind of like a bat shape almost. Like that. Use this again. Out, down, and back, or maybe a half a leaf. And she's going to do that as a way to show rolling or folding of this leaf. Now you could do this on either side, okay? It really does not matter at all. Now on her example, I did not see any folds, or fold lines rather, but I think it needs it. So I'm adding 3 very lightweight folds. And that's the pattern. Isn't this pretty? So let's take a minute and get some shading on here. Grab your pencil. We're definitely going to want to shade in the fold lines. While I'm at it, we're also going to want to shade where the overlap is here. Maybe all the way up to the top makes a lot of sense. I'd encourage you to feel free to do a little bit of different ways of designing this if you feel that it comes to you that you really want this line or that line. Now, I also think it's kind of important to do a little shading in this fold area that she's created. It's a very sweet pattern, and I think it goes well. It plays well with other patterns. I could see using this under the sea, or maybe in a landscape type pattern. If you were doing something like that, this would be a really fun, exotic kind of a bush, I think. And then I like to put a little shading in these smallish orbs. The larger of them won't fit much in those small ones. Grab your blender stump, push, smudge. I know I'm a broken record on this, but your shading is only as good as your paper. So it depends on what scrap paper you're using, whether this shading is going to show up much or not. But if you're working on your cute book with me, then you'll be real happy with the paper you have and how it shades for you. And probably have quite enough shading on here now. There, and I think I'd like to shade these hearts just a bit with what I have left over. I don't want them to get too dark. Very sweet, isn't it? What a fun pattern. Okay, grab your wonderful book. It's such a wonderful book. I've started putting the names on the outside of each of my pages that they're on. So I've started putting them all in here because today I have to add a new page, and you do too, probably. But it is so much fun to look over where we've been and what we've done. I have enjoyed these so much, and I'll be adding some sides and some borders to these different patterns pretty quick here with you, I hope. So I'm going to put lesson 20 right in here. Now let me show you. It's possible to do something like this, but I don't think it's possible in that little 2-inch spot. Still, I thought that this was very fun, and you would probably quite enjoy seeing how this looks. Alrighty, so let's put this, doesn't matter if we do it in pen or pencil. I think maybe this time for something different, I'll do it in pencil. Put that big mound in here. underneath the mound, put lots of substantial orbs. You know where we're going now, so you know how you want this to look. Squeeze them in. And then darken behind. And I will leave that open because that'll contribute to my shading. This time I'm going to start, maybe I started last time too, I'm not sure. I'll put my hearts here. Alternating sides. Always a question how far to go with this, isn't it? But I believe I have room for one more here if I squeeze it in. And then I have maybe room for one more here. So the next thing I want to do is get those big spears. And again, you can start in the middle or the side, whatever you like. I really quite like starting in the middle. Bring a spear up and the other direction. Spear up and across. Spear and out of that one. And one more. Out. Going into the margin, I got to be a little careful about that because I have a pattern we're going to put in here. So I have to be a little careful about that margin. Not this one so much. The next pattern is, oh, it's got some size to it, but I believe there'll be room for both. And then we'll go back and we'll add this cute little treatment. You remember that from before. Gives the illusion of being folded over, I think. And I think that was her intention too. And then, like I mentioned before, I'm going to add these smallish lines that are kind of like folds to me. Very light. Intended to be light. Sweet. Didn't this turn out nice? Grab your blender stump. Get some shading behind the heart. And get some shading between the orbs and the heart too. I think it needs it. And then shading on the fold and on this stylized fold too. Grab your blender stump. Let's spread this out. And then I have plenty, I think. No, maybe not. I don't actually have plenty. I really want to put that little smile toward the bottom of the larger orbs. And this is really going to help these pop too. Not the whole orb, just a little bit of a smile. One time I blackened the hearts and I really liked that look too. So give that a try sometime. So I'd like to leave you with the one that I did just to show you some ideas. And please, it's time for our candy or our kisses. Please like the channel. And if you wouldn't mind, pass it on to somebody. I would love to know that more people are enjoying this video. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon for day 21. Yay! Bye.